Hi everyone, welcome to this Woodfired Workshop at Manna from Devon Cooking School. In this workshop we're going to be cooking a fantastic piece of Bavette steak. We're going to be using the Alpha 4 Peats and we're going to be making an amazing steak sandwich. First thing I'm going to do is get a heavy pan, cast iron or heavy steel pan. I've got a heavy steel pan here. Really well heated, so I've got a lovely bed of embers sat there, nice hot oven, but lovely big bed of embers, and I'm going to sit the pan directly on top. So the steak we're going to be using today from Piper's Farm, Bavette steak, flank steak, skirt steak, all the same, comes from the underside of the cow, almost like the belly of the cow. It's quite well worked, it's quite muscular, it's got these long fibres, and it is very, very tasty. So in the UK, called skirt and used in pasties down here in the West Country. In South America, fajitas would be made from this, and in France, Bavette steak is used as a sort of bistro steak. Steak frite will often be a Bavette. Doesn't want to be cooked too long. You can't have this well done because it would just become very chewy, so you want medium rare or rare, and that's what we're going to be aiming for today. And then slice nice and thinly across the grain to make it nice and tender, to go through those long, well worked grains, and we should have a really tasty steak, perfect for making a steak sandwich. I'm going to salt the steak before we cook it. And apart from that, I've just let it warm up and I've really dried out the outside very well. So our pan, if my back is anything to go by, the pan will now be nice and hot. And we want it kind of smoking hot, like that. I'm going to go in with some olive oil. In there with a nice sizzle, back onto my embers for 45 seconds. Now we're going to turn that over. Got a lovely crust forming on there. Back in, onto the embers. Now we've got that nice crust formed on both sides. So I haven't put that on the embers, I've put that, offset it in the oven where it's still nice and hot. We're letting it roast a little bit now, just maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to be testing it and letting it go no more than medium rare. So I'm going to test this. Still very soft, still fairly rare at the moment. Just going to baste that a little bit. The smell of that butter and rosemary and steak all mixed in together is fantastic. It's actually been more like 5 minutes because it's quite a thick piece of steak. But now I'm happy that that's starting to firm up, and we're going to rest it well. And whilst that's resting, I'm just going to fry some onions quickly, nice chunks of onion, and those can go into the same pan. And I want to cook those nice and quick because I want some colour, a little bit of char on them. So I'm popping those on the embers, and onto my steak here I'm going to put this flavoured butter. So this is butter that we've mixed with herbs and lemon and black pepper, and I'm going to let that melt and mix with the jus from the steak, and then we'll pour that over our steak sandwich. It'll be amazing. Those are cooking really quickly, both in the heat of the oven and in the heat of the pan. Once the meat is resting and the onions are cooking, we can start getting some other things ready. So I've got a couple of rolls here that we cooked earlier, so some nice ciabatta rolls. And a mustard mayonnaise. So mayonnaise mustard, a little black pepper. I'm going to put a generous amount of that on each one. The onions are cooked, and we're just going to drain off the excess from these on a little bit of kitchen paper. And you can see I've got a few nice charred bits there, which are going to make for awesome background flavour. Before I cut the steak and assemble the sandwich, just to say thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for regular updates, and if you've got any questions about this or any other aspect of wood-fired cooking, please put a note in the comments below and we will get back to you. We'll put the recipe and notes for this dish on our blog and put a link to that below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.